Gaza, one of the world's biggest news stories. But one of the smallest and most claustrophobic strips of land on Earth. A virtual prison with no way out and hardly any way in. The years of conflict with Israel have left Gaza in ruins.
My granny sacrificed herself and blew herself up.
And I will recruit the other children here for martyrdom.
Today, Gaza feels like a population living on a life support machine. There's not enough of anything anymore. Money, water, food, or medicine.
I know what death means, I know what blood means, I know what war means.
I'm scared. I think we're going to die. Death is coming.
This tiny strip of land is bordered by Israel, Egypt, and the Mediterranean Sea. Entry to Gaza is through checkpoints, all of which are controlled by Israel. Gaza makes up only 6% of the Palestinian territories, yet contains nearly half of its population, around 1.4 million people. 50% are children under the age of 10. Roughly twice the size of Washington, D.C., Gaza is one of the most densely populated places in the world.
عمر محمود جمعة جباليا البلد أعمل في كتائب شهيد عز الدين القسام أقدم نفسي فداء لله.
Fatima al-Najjar was a grandmother to 23 grandchildren. These are just some of them. She'd had a tough life. 2 of her children had been killed and others were in prison. And her own house had been destroyed, forcing her to live with relatives. When she died, all she had was a room with a wardrobe, a bed, and a nail to hang things on. She lived in dire poverty. But she chose to die in desperate anger. Last November, at the age of 67, Fatima became the oldest female Palestinian suicide bomber. She approached a group of soldiers and detonated explosives strapped around her waist.
I cried when she died. We all cried. We loved her very much, and she loved us too.
She used to like to cook for us. Tomatoes, spinach, beans, she knew how to cook everything.
It would be nice if she was still here and could stay with us, but she doesn't need us now. It is better for her to go to heaven, and only God can take her there. We children can't give her judgment, only God can. There is going into hell, and there is going into heaven. She is going into heaven.
My name is Beth.
And how old are you?
I am 8. My granny sacrificed herself. She opened the door on the Israelis and blew herself up. The last time I saw her was in the afternoon. And then she went out. She said to me, I'm going to be a martyr. She was laughing. I didn't know what she meant. We got the news at the evening. The grown-ups started to cry, and the little kids cried too. I loved her lots and lots. She was Mama and Papa for me.
2 weeks before her death, Fatima went on a women's protest in the town of Beit Hanun. While she was there, she witnessed the massacre of 13 children and the death of one of her friends. Her family say it was the tipping point.
She went to Beit Hanun to break the mosque siege. She was the first woman to confront the Israeli soldiers and walk right between the tanks. We were surprised she came back to us alive after that. We thought she would get killed there.
Fatima's grandchildren say she came back from Beit Hanun a changed person. She was unusually quiet, and she chose to spend time with each of the children individually.
She bought me a dress that was worth 30 shekels, and I hadn't been able to pay her back. She said to me, "I'll let you off the debt if I die today." But I didn't take her seriously. I mean, she was normal. She was helping us to bake the bread before she went out to die. I suppose she may have been trying to tell me indirectly, but her words were full of riddles.
The grandchildren insist they had no idea what she was planning to do.
We are astonished at what happened. We all miss her dearly. The little ones cry for her and call her name at night. They really loved her a lot. They keep visiting her. They go to her room and knock on the door as if she's still there. They sit on her bed and reminisce about her. They keep calling her name and asking her to come back.
I wish I could have said goodbye, and then I would have got her last words of advice on how she was going to do this. Who drove her to this ideology? I have dealings with the movement, but they are saying very little to me. I'm trying to find out the address or the person to talk to. I want to do the same. I want to know how to do this.
Are you serious, Fatima? You're 14 years old, and you're telling me you want to be a martyr?
Yes, if you look at it from a view that life is just a passage, then age is not an obstacle.
How would you feel, Fatima, if one of your very small cousins, one of the little ones, told me that they wanted to be a martyr? Would you be very worried?
As a matter of fact, I'm trying to raise my little sister to think in this way. This wouldn't worry me, and I will recruit the other children here for martyrdom.
Fatima, these don't sound like very good choices for kids of your age to be making. Would you agree with that? Isn't it sad that kids of your age are making these choices?
No, it's not sad. Life is a passage. It's not a sad thing.
Whether you become a martyr or not, you die in the end. We're all going to die anyway.
My grandmother will be a very good example for the children to follow. She will give them the passion for martyrdom and raise them in the love of their land. And when they grow up, they will learn to defend Palestine and they will revenge their grandmother.
Do you ever think about the kids in Israel? Do you ever wonder if, for example, the children in Sderot, do you think that they might be suffering too?
Yes, of course. But just like our children live under constant fear, their children should also experience the same fear and terror. That's a normal reaction. I refuse to accept that the other children of the world can live in peace and security while the children of Palestine live under terror.
The children are growing up really thinking that this is normal. Not being able to move around, having difficulty getting to school, violence, their siblings, friends being killed.
Gaza and Palestine in general, it looks like a prison. When you want to go from here, Gaza, to Ramallah, for example, you have to go through the checkpoints and to have many questions. Although it's our land, there is no place to go because every good place the Israelis destroy it. Here they know what war means, what death means. They see blood. They know everything about politics. They just live in a political situation. All in schools they talk about politics. When they play, you can see them shooting other by toys. I'm a child. I know what death means. I know what blood means. I know what war means for us. I know they know. I know, and all the children know how the feeling of not having a mom, a dad, or brother